the selection was strong. It came from north, south, east, west, including Canada and Japan. I think the name of the call sort of brought a lot of interesting color.
Yes.
So the color and with raised printmaking technique had wonderful solutions.
Inventive solutions.
Inventive, powerful, and new.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had the reception tonight that was enabled to announce the award winners and to celebrate some purchases of the works, and some of the artists were there, and it was a great viewing with the community.
The community is amazing here. You know, reading online what this place was about, you know, there were so many things going on. And coming here, you feel really energetic art community that is exciting.
Yeah, it was very exciting.
Yeah.
Can you maybe point here or talk about some of the works that we're seeing? We're standing in front of
This
the
one
largest work.
is an honorable mention, and when I saw this as a slide, I thought it was small.
It's a surprise on the scale.
This scale and the layering and the collage are amazing.
So that was always a big surprise, looking at the real things, and that's why it's important to have the juror see everything really in person.
Right.
We use all the advantage of digital connections to make the original selection,
Right.
but you need to see things in person too.
Absolutely, because it's really about the matrix and the print process. You know, all of these prints couldn't be made any other way. So I was really looking for expressions in raised printing, and then also printing layers of ink rather than heavy paint or pigment creates beautiful color.
Well, and you talked about that really lovely tonight, about how ink is on the paper and light shining through, and your experience as a colorist.
Well, you know, a lot of color flat is dull. So a lot of the color in this show has the reflection of the white paper, which really enlivens the whole composition.
How many colors are there? You were talking about that?
I asked people how many colors can the average human discern, and the answer is 1 million. So how do you organize and compose of 1 million colors? How do you wrap your head around how dark or light or bright or dull color?
And I think it's I keep using the word nuances, and slight differences that are telling whether the color is the right one to use. And you're using things like simultaneous contrast in your own work.
Right.
Let's
So
talk about that.
you want me to, so simultaneous contrast is when you put two colors together, how they interact. So colors can be pushy, colors can dominate, colors can create a haze or an after image over another color. So picking colors in isolation, which a lot of people do, doesn't work. It has to be about a collection or a palette of colors that I think so many of the artists really accomplished here.
it's important for the competition to have a juror that understands printmaking. You're a printmaker, you're an educator, you're a designer, even architect you had on your hand. How does that work?
I think the architecture and design is more of the analytical part of my brain. So I do research. I've researched my whole career in color theory and all those systems of understanding color. But my own work is not theory.
It's experience.
It's experience.
Yeah.
Karen, we have a question. It says, can you name the artist whose work you're discussing as well?
Yes, we're standing in front of one of the honorable mention winners. It's Josie Andreessen, actually from Lincoln, Nebraska. So we're really happy that she's getting recognized. This was quite a experimental and gigantic step for her to take this work at this scale. Very nice. Yeah.
Do you have a theory of play and a theory of games and how that engages with color?
Well, tomorrow there's an activity to play with a color tool that I designed called Coloratura, and it's a card game of 256 colors, teaching artists or students to learn the levels of or the dimensions of color, which is hue, the color name, value, the lightness and darkness, and saturation, sort of the brightness or levels of grayness in a color. So to describe one color, you really need those three attributes to understand color that we're not taught in school.
How about more generally, what do you think play has to do with human flourishing?
What does play have to, say that again?
What does that have to do with human flourishing?
Play? Play is key. And a lot of color relies on the play and intuition.
And intuition, I think, is
The humans intuitively understand color.
yeah, and I think I always say it's nonverbal to look at colors and decide what works together. It's something that the eyes experience, and color has actions and effects. Those are really the playful part of working with color.
We have another question. Can you talk about your choices for the awards and how color factors into this?
It was all about color.
We have one of the winners over here.
You can move around.
Yeah, we want to do like a panorama of the gallery here so you can see some of the works. This is an award winner, and the artist book over here.
Maybe move around. Talk about
Yeah, but you can certainly continue to talk about your choices for the awards.
Oh, the awards.
Maybe we look at this book.
Well, the call was really for color. Color was the dominant
Approach that the artist self-selected in a way.
right.
Because we asked for colors.
So there's a lot of bold shade compositions rather than linear. A lot of drawing.
Yeah, this is amazing work at a large scale that has writing and text printed from the letterpress, prints from wood blocks on both sides of the paper, and many levels to understand, even physically through the structure.
Right.
It's by Katie Baldwin
And Sarah Bryan.
Let's look at this one.
it's complex color. So there's the layering of color, not a straight filled in color. The composition shifts and sparkles.
Yeah, ins and outs.
Right. So it's really about color space that I find so beautiful. This is a good example of the layers of color.
It's by Jean Kunc writing. What else should we look at? Say anything about these?
Complexity of the yellow and black, high contrast, beautifully executed.
We're back over here. This print is by Jean Gumper.
This one is technically
Amazing.
amazing. Because it highlights nature in its complexity.
Yeah, and the title is so much like the complexity. It's called Thicket, and you really get that sense of the density of nature to dive into. You know, it's coming from the layers of the color.
It's abstract and then it's realistic at the same time.
We have another question. Was there a through line that came across in terms of theme or content when the exhibition came together?
Theme, I think the dominant theme was, the artist and the relationship to nature and to landscape.
Yeah, I would say so.
And their experience again with nature.
Mostly abstract, not that many figurative works at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see lots of interconnections from the work we selected about this nature. Here's a great nature wall.
But the bulk of it was nature, which I thought was interesting.
Good. Great. Do we have
Is
any
that
other
good?
questions? You want to say anything more, Janine?
Good.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We recorded some documentation this